So you may be wondering if it's worth it to come back to Archeage for the 2.0 patch and the two fresh servers that they are creating, the fresh start servers. Well, as you can see, there's quite a bit of servers. This is the North American region. They are merging several of these guys, and they're adding one brand new fresh start server called Morpheus on the North American region, and they're doing the same thing on the EU region and adding Rangora, I believe. So one brand new server that has its own dedicated auction house that is not connected to any other servers, that everyone starts at level 1, that you can have no transfers to, anything like that. But there are a couple downsides. So it is connected to the entire game system, which means you can bring over your loyalty tokens, you can bring over your labor. So you're going to start off that server with 5,000 labor points, whereas in the very beginning of the servers at launch, at Head Start, you had 0 labor points when you logged in. So that's a very, very big change. And then the other thing is that there's going to be more kind of whale-like people because you can bring over your credits as well. That's not the right credit. But you can bring over your actual credits, your marketplace credits. So if you are on the older servers, a lot of people have been liquidating and selling their old gear, the stuff that they're using, selling it on the auction house, and converting all that money into Apex, which is giving them a whole bunch of credits. As you can see here, we're going to have, I believe it's like 55,000 credits. So go over to the marketplace, 56,000 right now, and I still have a little bit more gold to go buy some more Apex and buy more credits. And then the other thing that people have are they have these no cooldown worker compensation potions. And again, labor is tied to all of your accounts. So if you have these guys on your old servers, when you log in, you can use them, pop them, and it goes into your labor pool, and then you can use that labor on the brand new server. So those are the downsides to the fresh start server. So it's not truly a fair leveled playing field. But let's be honest, guys, it never was a fair leveled playing field, even in the beginning. So in the beginning, you had your Archeage founders, which paid 150, and they had a huge head start over even the other founders, the silver and the gold packs. They had a huge head start. They got these merchant Daru chests and explorer Daru chests from the loyalty tokens. Well, they're in the loyalty token store now, but they were just given out as prizes. And so right there, that started you guys off with like a 30 gold head start at least, with some possible Guild of Stars and such. So they had a huge head start. And then on top of that, there was the cash shop warriors who would go ahead and drop, hundreds upon hundreds of dollars, and they would buy the RNG boxes and get tons of Archeage, and then, be able to craft faster. And that's still here, and that's actually worse now. So if you're worried about pay to win and you thought before it was pay to win, well, now there's kind of a new version of pay to win. It's the fact that you could bring your old gear, you can sell all your stuff, and you can come over. And me personally, I have never bought anything besides the Archeage Founder Pack in the very beginning. So I spent $150 in Alpha to get the Archeage Founder Pack, the highest tier, and I've never spent any other money in this game at all whatsoever. And as you can see, I have 56,000 credits. Realistically, that would cost, I believe, like $500 or $600 for someone to buy that amount of credits. And there's quite a few players that have that many credits stored up, potentially even more credits than me as well. So there are those new whales that are really, they're whales, but they're not cash whales. They're actually just grinders. They sold all their old stuff from the old servers. They're converted over, and they're going to start fresh with tons and tons of cash shop items. So it could be good and bad. That means that the cash shop items, everything here in the cash shop should actually be a lot cheaper on the auction house, because with people coming into the new servers, they're having so many credits, they're just going to buy these RNG boxes like crazy to get the Archeage. And Archeage isn't going to be an issue. In my opinion, Archeage in the beginning of that server will not be an issue at all. These new RNG boxes have way better drop rates of Archeage than the original RNG boxes way back when. Back when they were giving out like dust and shards, well, now they give out crystals and shards. So there's a huge increase in Archeage in these boxes. So I don't think there's going to be an Archeage issue at all. There's also, they're disabling a couple things. So disabling a couple of the cash shop, main advantages. The majestic tree and then the mining drill are being disabled. So those things will massively bring in tons and tons of logs and lumber, stone and ore at a fast rates. They're also disabling this lunar scarecrow, which is really blatantly pay to win. This scarecrow is the best in slot. It has the most farm field for a 16 by 16. It doesn't have the scarecrow in the middle of its, and it is just, I mean, it's the only scarecrow that can actually hold those majestic trees or the mining drill. Let's see if I can find one real quick. So those are blatantly pay to win items, but again, it's farming related. But in game, you use your farming materials to make a lot of money and to craft different things. So I mean, here's the scarecrow right here, and you can see the scarecrow is all the way on the edge, and you have nothing in the middle, so you can plant a ginormous tree or mining drill right there, whereas nothing else can because you have this middle section that's cutting it off and doesn't give you enough planting field to plant those ginormous things. So they have taken those, and they said it's only about a 2-week, removal from the marketplace. But, so if those things don't scare you away, and if you're not too worried, if you're looking for just a better experience, the game itself, the EXP is a lot faster. There's a lot more to do. There's ghost ships, tons of ghost ships out in the ocean. So before the ocean was pretty bare, now you got ghost ships. You got 2 world bosses. You got the Kraken and you got the Leviathan way out there. So huge, massive raid bosses. The castle system should actually be working and effective. So you're gonna actually have sieges that are, possibly to win, rather than the defender always having the advantage of like, oh, it's 100 to 10, but the defender's still gonna win because they got the castle walls and it's impossible to break through the castle. So they fixed a lot of the systems, and there's lots of different things. So the arena modes active. You got 1v1 and 5v5, and those are kind of flushed out. You got the ranking leaderboards on the arena. So if arena is your thing, you can go and do that. In the next patch, they're also bringing up the arenas that have no gear, that everyone is kind of balanced. So you got rankings, you got fishing contest. Fishing is actually getting a huge buff in pricing. So the prices for fishes, the turn-in values are getting a dramatic increase. Fishing boats are getting increase in speed. Fishing boats will be a lot easier to create because there's thunderstruck trees in the cash shop or in the loyalty store. So those guys aren't going to be insanely expensive. They're still going to be expensive, but they're not going to be insanely expensive. So overall, the game is just better if you can get past the pay-to-win aspect. It's not blatant like, okay, you pay $500 and then they're gonna sell you the best in slot weapon. It's not blatant, but it's gonna be like you give them $500 and then you get all these items. You can go and sell these items, get all that gold, turn that gold in, sell and buy the best in slot weapon from someone else if they're potentially selling that weapon. So if you can get past the pay to win aspect and you just want to enjoy an MMO, kind of like it is a hybrid sandbox theme park MMO. So you got a lot of cool features. There's treasure diving, which there's random treasure chests out in the wild. Great feature. Again, the ghost ships are really awesome. So if you want naval PvP, that is one of the big highlights of this game that nothing else really touches on. No other MMOs out there. The housing zones. So if you want to be a farmer, if you want to be just kind of like role-playing Farmville, you're kind of getting like the best possible thing. All the lands, like these are PvP zones. Now all the farmland in the housing zones is actually safe. So you cannot be killed or ganked in your house, in your farming area. So like PvPers are pissed, but farmers are really happy because now, PvPers can't gank these guys in the farm house zones and everything. And the farmers can just farm away and role play away in there. So there's a lot of good changes. Again, it's good changes if you aren't like hardcore, like I want to be the greatest PvPer in the world, and like you want a game that's fair and balanced, that's not like cash shop heavy, because the cash shop is where most of the Archeum comes in this game. Archeum, for those that don't know, is used to craft all the weapons and armors in game. So the main crafting ingredient pretty much comes from the cash shop. It does drop in the world, but at extremely small amounts, and the majority of it will be coming from the cash shop. So there, if you have any questions about the new server, again, there's so much more. Leveling is easier. There's improved dungeons. better dailies. They just polished everything. It feels like more of a full game rather than at launch where they butchered it and they cut up things and took things out. Now we have a full game that is really, really like just polished. That's the word I want to say. It's a polished game. You can do whatever you want. You can get lost in this game for hours upon hours, and you can really have a great time. Definitely looking forward to the guild versus guild system. So they have a guild wars coming in this. So for PvPers and people that want to fight other guilds and have those like raging wars and conflicts, these zones kind of aren't going to mean anything anymore. It's more just going to be straight up guild versus guild. Guilds are now capped at 100 players, and we're not completely certain on who can activate this, if it's only the leader or the generals, but someone in the guild, probably the leader, maybe the generals, they can activate the guild wars against an opposing guild that is level 3 or higher. So you level your guild up, and once you get to level 3 or higher, you guys are automatically thrown into the PvP war system. And so if I'm running around my guild, say sheep farmers, and I'm level 3, and now we run across someone else who is also a level 3 guild, and we could just kind of like activate PvP and then just jump on him and gank his ass right there. Steal his trade packs, steal whatever. But it does cost money. It costs a lot of gold to activate the PvP system. So you're not going to see as much just pure doing it out of spite, ganking, and grieving players. But if you are doing a run with, say, your guildmates with like 5 or 6 haulers worth of trade packs, and another guild comes up and is like, oh, you guys are weak, we're going to go steal your packs. They'll go activate the PvP on you guys and then, attack you. There are some ways around it. You got to be, rank 3 or higher in your guild. And you could also purchase, if you are rank 3 or higher, you can purchase a peace treaty, which means you're at 48 hours, you cannot be attacked in that system. So there are different things, but that's kind of like the new PvP system. It's just an hour-long bloodbath. Guild versus guild, it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter, if you're in a capital city or if you're, in a farmhouse, farmland. Wherever you are flagged for PvP against the opposing guild that you are at war with. So that is a cool system for the PvPers, and it's really kind of like an optimal system, I think. It makes the PvEers happy where they can farm away, and if they don't want to be part of this guild wars, they don't have to join a guild that is rank 3 or higher. And for the PvPers that really want a PvP, you can set up these war battlegrounds and be like, okay, we're going to meet right here, and we're just going to throw down. Or you can use it as a tactical kind of ganking thing of where, like, all right, you guys got a shitload of trade packs. We're going to go activate PvP on you while your cars are taking the trade packs over there and steal all your trade packs because we're, the badass guild, and that's what we do. We kill people in PvP. So overall, I like the systems a lot. It's really good. It's very polished. And as long as Trine doesn't fuck it up with the patch and with like server stability and things like that, I think this is going to be a really, really good thing for Archeage.